Morning all, and welcome to today's Sunday Q&A, which today is brought to you from Hexatronic, who had a song out in the 80s. Pump up the jam. No, that was Technotronic. Why did she say jam? She doesn't say jam. Pump up the jam. She from like North London or something, like cancel, jam. No, probably not. Yeah, so I got here a little bit early. So we're ready to go. We got Friday the 13th, fingers crossed. I'm going to take some reels over to Ely. And then after that, who knows? And then Monday, got a bit of a weird one next week. Monday, I'm actually doing some kind of interview with a CX. Apparently they're doing some kind of forum thing or a phone-in thing. And Tristan at the CX said, would you come along? And I went, yeah, all right. He's going to pay my petrol, my parking. Brilliant. I'll take a day off work, but hey, I don't know. Might help some people. Might help me. Might help the channel get out there. I don't know. I just said yes. Anyway, so what we got? Firstly, as we say, Art Mallory said, what language is that? Are subtitles available? I speak two languages, Art. I speak English and rubbish. Mostly rubbish. There we go. So, right, the big thing, of course, at the moment is Fuel Watch. We're bang on Fuel Watch at the moment. So this week's fuel prices, I had Watson's at 124.9, 124.09, Motia at 124.25, UK Fuels at 125.09, and my boys at Xpress came in at 127.52. Can't win them all. Hive Man, so big increase for next week. Yeah, both kind of knew that was coming, I think. White Van Man had Watson's at 128.66. That was a lot for Watson's. Silvey at 123.65, so he's the winner with that one. And Tate at 129.22. Paul Tredgett says, what, £2 a litre coming soon. And Dale Steele says, no government will let it happen. The thing is, Dale, it will happen. I mean, when? I don't know. I remember watching the Yes Minister back in the day. And Humphrey and some other geezer are laughing about the fact it's sort of, when, you know, the way it's going, one day a packet of cigarettes will cost more than a bottle of whiskey. And they laughed. A bottle of whiskey now is about 13 quid. A packet of fags is over a score. It'll happen. It's an inelastic tax. The three things about it, again, it's alcohol, fags, and petrol. The three things we can't do without. So it'll happen, but hopefully not. Hopefully it won't happen soon. Hopefully things will calm down a bit, and so will the prices. We just have to keep an eye on the Fuel Watch to see what happens. You know. So, and Michael Garman said the forecourts are cheaper than the fuel cards for me this week. So as says, here I come. Got to go where it's cheapest. You know, you've got to keep the overheads down. So this week's big video was where to park a truck, which is kind of just one of those information videos. WCB Overlooked, which is our mate Shane, says there's a place not too far from me. See lorries parked there most nights. They pay £15 a night, or they offer contract parking at so much a month. Godzilla says, he said, to me, if I was starting again, I would go to the local transport companies asking if I can park there for a price. A lot of the time, I think they're going to say no. They kind of like their own site being their own site. Although having said that, Smithys round the corner lets people park. Their Hughes driver training comes out of Smithys. He said, also they will have access to mechanics and tyre blokes. It is handy having a site. They will have transport managers, so you could also piggyback off them. They will likely give you work if you park there. They will also be secure, so it's a no-brainer. You're right. In fairness, she's right. If you can get the right one in, definitely a way forward. The other one is, he said, or a farmer. He said they struggle with income, so you'd be helping each other out, which is true. I mean, I park at was a farm. It's now a business park. It's a proper business park. So like you said, if you can get a business park, that's kind of too. He said, what I wouldn't do is what I did last time, and that's pay a dedicated site that specialises in renting out areas for businesses to park in. It was expensive and problematic. Can be a pain if you get there and someone else is in your space, or someone's parked in front of you when you want to take the truck out, and it can be expensive. But if you get the right one and someone doesn't park in your space and it sort of is cheap enough, Just got to go with it. The best thing to do is to see what's the most closest and convenient to you. And bear in mind also, if you put it on your operator's license, you want to get it locked down before you apply for the operator's license. Because if you apply and you say you're parking there and you can't park there, you've got to, I think that's not necessarily reapply for the license, but you'd have to put in for like an amendment. You'd have to sort of like change where you want to park. And that means taking out the advert in the paper again. And that's another 300 quid. So you want to get it nailed down first. The wise guys this week. Cecil says, "Hi mate, I'm thinking of starting up in a car transporter, initially with a 4x4 and a trailer. If I was to lease a container in the storage yard, have my own, yeah, it comes on this, have my own license registered there, and that's where I would park the trailer, would they then have an issue with my keeping my car at my home address? I'm struggling to work the ins and outs because only done it for a day and the trailer is dropped off and would no longer even be in the category to require an O licence or be on a taco." So I put this on Wise Guys. Godzilla's has already replied. Because, you know, somebody out there might also want to know. He says, "You need to fill in the requirements on the day. After this, you are free to do as you please as long as it's within the law. It's like an MOT. So yes, you can use a storage container as a site address, assuming that the company you rent from is okay with that, as long as there is HGV access and it is allowed. Understanding that there will be an issue with the O licence, will consider a full-size truck as needing access, and you could be adding that to the licence at some point in the future. And yes, you can unhitch and drive home. It's under the rules of using a car." So yeah, on the long and short of it, yeah, you can. So I think if you're any doubt, ring the ministry. Say that this is what I want to do. You can speak to them, and you don't want to get through fairly quickly. So this is what I want to do. What do I have to do? They know all the rules. They'll tell you. And also get them to send you in an email. And that way, as long as you comply with the email that the ministry has sent you, if someone comes along later and went, "Hey, what are you doing? You can't do that." It's like, yeah, I can. You said I could. I'm doing what you told me to do. And then you're covered. It's always the way. It's like if you're late for a job, ring the shipper. So I'm stuck in traffic. You're covered. You turn up late and you didn't tell us. They're shut now. It's your problem. So, and in conclusion this week, another short Q&A this week. Dale still, the book is finished. I'm currently going through it and just sort of doing spell checky and just sort of minor alterations. I think it's going to take me. I mean, I've done hardly anything this week. I'm cold. You know, like a proper kid's cold. You know, the one where you sneeze and just turn that off. Stop. You know, like a proper, just slightly under the weather. And of course, the under the weather day, that was the one where I ended up doing like a 14-hour, nearly 10 hours driving. I was at Bedford Council at 6 o'clock in the morning, handboarding off 17 fire doors. But busy day. But yeah, so I haven't done a lot of the book, but it is finished. He said, Dale still says, "Any chance of an audio book version with you reading it, Pete? You think you'd do better with an audio book? Actually, maybe not a good idea if you read it. I can imagine you going off at a tangent every sentence." I did that before. I started trying to do the audio book of Shall I Go On, Mum, and realised halfway through that I was chatting away about something totally unrelated to the book. But I would love to, Dale. It's finding the time, my friend. But if I can, I will. And then you can all listen to the wonderful book as you're driving down the road, taking care and taking money. Here come my reels. I'll see you later.